Welcome to another episode of The Pebble. And I am here to introduce you to a great new acquaintance, soon to be friend, I'm sure, that I discovered in a wonderful group called the Global Tea Break. And his name is Travis Robbins. And talk about going global. He's going to be living the pebble in a very real way that when I heard him share it with that group, I was like, oh, I have to grab him. He has to come share it with our Pebble viewers. So I immediately was like DMing him right then because I was so excited by what he hopes to do and his plans for the next 3 years and on with his life. So with that long introduction, welcome, Travis. Thank you for joining us and let our viewers know what you're up to.
Hey, Tracy, thank you so much for having me on. It's definitely a pleasure and a privilege and an honor for sure. So yeah, like you said, I'm going to be I'm going to be on an adventure for a couple years, walking the world's longest walkable road. And this road goes from Capetown, South Africa, all the way up to Magadan, Russia. It's about 14,000 miles long and crosses 16 countries.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, it's going to be a fun time. I was writing this down earlier. It's to facilitate the adventure of a lifetime by walking across the world.
I love it. And that is well said. It's well captured. So good on both ends. No, that's amazing. Lots of us talk about wanting to see the world, but that usually is, a 2 or 3 day in a hot spot and come home with some bags of trinkets that somebody has to dust later on. But you are not doing that in this 14,000-mile trip. You will be spending some time.
Yeah. So along with me walking, it's going to be open to other people walking as well. And we'll be going into the different cultures, the different communities and whatnot to provide whatever service that they need that we can provide. And I'm really passionate about providing fresh water because that's kind of the essence of being able to live and survive and whatnot, having fresh water available in a lot of these different areas throughout Africa and really throughout the world, but specifically throughout Africa. They don't have access to fresh water. And so being able to provide that to the local communities, local areas, local people, stuff like that, it is that's exciting for me. I'm really excited for that. And
It is exciting. It is.
life.
It is obviously not a luxury in the sense that it's necessary for life, but compared to most of the world, our access to water is absolutely luxurious. We
Walk 8 hours away to get some water that's alive. Like it's alive water. You don't want to drink that.
we don't question that if we're thirsty, there's a tap that can be found to provide clean water that you know eh, eh, that's drinkable and won't make us sick. And so I think that's a tremendous thing. That was one of the parts that stood out to me when you were talking. And I the first time we spoke, I said, okay, I get it. I get what you're doing. It's an amazing project. But I didn't even know there was such a thing as the largest walkable road that was 14,000 miles and covered 16 countries and 2 or 3 continents. And so how did this come to you? Because I mean, I'm in shook. It's fabulous.
Well, it was through networking, and I was on this networking event, met this lovely lady. We were having a great conversation about life, adventures, and our experiences and whatnot. And I don't remember what part of the conversation, but she sent me this article that Global Rescue did on debunking the world's longest walkable road. And so when I was reading through that, it was really inspiring and it felt like it was calling out to me because it would be such a great adventure. It would be so much fun. And that was the initial draw to it. That would be so much fun to do. And it felt like it was just calling me out to, kind of go into the wild and, go on the adventure of a lifetime. And that's where the initial spark kind of started to kindle. And oddly enough, I kind of put it on the back burner for a few months because it felt like it would be impossible. But with other things coming together, I kind of just was like, it could be possible. So how could it be possible? And then it just grew from there.
Well, I won't even try to butcher the quote, but I know that there's some kind of Sherlock Holmes quote about once you eliminate the impossible, everything is possible. Like,
Yes, when you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth.
honest to goodness, guys, we didn't practice that. I just set him up without even trying. I
Love Sherlock. It's
Yeah, well,
fantastic.
I enjoy mysteries altogether. I was a little
Mm.
more of an Agatha Christie person, but I definitely read Sherlock too. So yes. So once you realized it wasn't impossible, then it took over the desire to make it possible.
Absolutely. Yeah. The kind of
Well,
in the process of doing something, the
well,
inspiration turned into empowerment, and that empowerment.
that's incredible because that's really what
Sorry,
we
making that connection.
we're trying to do here is that but the little steps you conquered a huge thing. It didn't become possible in an instant, and in fact it's not totally possible
Right.
at the moment you're in the process of making it. You have a kind of a large 3 segment plan for it, and you're in the middle of the not the toughest physically, but probably the toughest mentally part, which is the visualization and the creation of the planning for it. So how is that going?
Well, I think it's the toughest logistically, at least right now, because getting all the details put together for the entire 27-month long journey, that there's plenty of details that go into the planning process for even a 3-day event, let alone over 2 years. So there's a whole lot of logistics to work out and figure out and come together and make it into a nice streamlined plan. So yeah, that is the first part, which I'm writing a book about for the inspiration, the planning process that goes into it. The second stage, like you were talking about, will be the actual walk, going through these different countries and communities and learning about the different cultures. And there'll be a book on that one as well. And then on the latter half, that third stage is the kind of the after action report, so to speak. In the military, there'd be the after action report and kind of recapping everything that went on, lessons learned, and kind of the vision set forth for after the completion.
Right. And I'm sure I love that you're going to be recording it and writing it and that you're writing now because it will be very interesting to look at where your vision is in 3 years after you've completed this and you've lived all of this, if that adjusts where your next steps take you. Like it's great because you have your 5-year plan, but we also know life, adjusts the plans. I try to tell my children that when you're steering a ship, the slightest bump
Hmm.
can send you to another country if they have a long enough distance for that
Absolutely.
to take. And
Planes are always recalculating.
so you are going to have a 14,000-mile recalculation.
Absolutely.
I just had the sound in my voice.
Recalculating route.
You're
Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
So, the fact that you'll be recording this along the way is both going to be a great insight for you, but it'll also be a wonderful tool for you to share with others because it it shows how we have to be where we are and respond to the now. I know my whole story has been about I started out having a one life goal, which was to be an actress. I was going to be an actress. That was it. And I was living in New York with my husband pursuing acting, and 9/11 happened. And my husband said, I'm joining the military. And that changed everything about our world. And for a while, I sat in the dissonance, I can't talk, and personal discord that I created for myself of this isn't what it's supposed to be, instead of appreciating like I had a beautiful family, I had lots of things. And that was much of my journey was, wait a minute, I am missing the most incredible life because my classmate is on the red carpet for the Golden Globes and I'm not. And that's stupid. And that's been my journey to this point is one of learning how important gratitude and blessings are, and that accepting that when you're in that moment, you, like you said, you recalibrate, you recalculate, you take on where you are. And you are going to be, I am positive, such a different person, you know, 36, 39 months from now, in a beautiful way, I'm sure. Like, not that you will be a different human, but you will have evolved and matured and grown so much that it'll be a great way to look at, I thought this was where I was going to land. I thought this is where I wanted to go. And maybe it'll be much the same, or maybe you'll go, wow, I have a whole new vision of what all of this, how the puzzle pieces fit, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's it's interesting how you kind of evolve as you go through life, and you're not the same person as you were even a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, whatnot. Like 1 year can be extremely transformational, can just change your whole life. And it one thing I like talking to a friend of mine about is if you grow or improve or continue to progress 1% more every day, you'll reinvent yourself 3.5 times every single year, and you'll
That's
become more
an
of
amazing way to look
who
at
you
it. Yeah.
truly are.
I love that. I've never thought of it that way. But yes, that's beautiful. I get that. And for me, my words are always, I just need to learn something new every day. I
Mm,
I just, you're never too old to learn. The people that are happiest in the world are those who are eternal learners. You know,
yeah.
the great that, you know, when you think about the people that are the really elderly and they're always smiling and they're still mentally with you, and they're the ones who just kept going with what life took and gave, and the changes around them. My great grandmother was born in 1904 in Oklahoma before it was a state, and she died in her mid 90s, so she saw the entire 20th century. And she was one of the most delightful, engaging, sometimes frustrating, but I mean, she lived life, you know, she rolled with all of it. I mean, she came from literally a horse and buggy to be, you know, getting married at 16 to her first husband, outlived three men, by the way. You know, to
Yeah.
drove until we took the keys away from her, I think at like 92, dyed her hair black and wore red lipstick like she had her whole life till you know, she, because that's, you know, but she was always evolving with the world. She didn't sit
Mm.
around and going, well, in my day, no. She was like, okay, well, I like this music. I can dance to this. It doesn't sound like what I knew, or whatever it was. She found something about the new world to excite her rather than to make her feel put out. And I've always wanted to emulate that.
My day only means today, not yesterday.
Yeah, that's good. I like that too. So, well, I am really excited to follow your journey, and we definitely will share your goodies down below, where how people can follow you and support you on your journey, especially as you start these projects. I'm hoping maybe we can have you pop back in, and you can, as you're prepping where you're at, and then definitely from the road. I know it'll be hard, so we won't do a
I'll make
whole
sure to bring Wi-Fi with me.
yeah, but at least like you can send me little 1 minute messages about what the projects are going, because I think my viewers are really going to want to be a part of this journey. And I love that you're inviting people to walk along. It kind of made me think of Forrest Gump, you know, where he starts walking and then by the end, like like thousands and thousands of people
There's
in
a
New
massive group
York.
behind
Yeah.
you. I
Um,
think I'm going home now.
yeah, I love him. I love that movie. That's a big movie for me. I have several touchstone
Mm.
movies. Forrest Gump is one of them. Um, but
Fellowship of the Ring is mine.
yes. Oh, you need to show them. Show my viewers what's on.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Not all those who wander are lost. Lord of
And
the
I
Rings.
I think that's a great lesson for all of us. I definitely was wandering. I felt lost, but I wasn't lost. I just wasn't looking at the right map
Mm.
or at the right, whatever compass, whatever metaphor you want to use. And I think that's true for a lot of people. And when you start heading the right direction, you take those little steps, you're going to walk into your full self. And you are literally going to be walking 14,000 miles.
You go from a wanderer to a ponderer when you get in alignment with your assignment.
Oh, you were just filled with them. That one's a new one for me.
That's a
See,
new one from me too.
did that just came to you? That's
Yeah, yeah, this game.
great. You write that down as soon as we're done. You write that
Well,
down.
thankfully it's recorded.
Yes, when you watch it. Okay, guys, that was a good one. Mark that. And what do you hope though? We did talk about, whether or not it'll match, but what do you hope at the end of this period, not just for yourself, but obviously you're sharing it for a reason. I mean, you could be a monk and go and never no one know about this, right? You could do this in silence, but you're sharing it obviously because you want others to learn from what you're learning. So what is it that you're hoping this journey will share with everyone?
To dream. I don't like the whole concept and ideology of the woke culture, but I am a very, very much passionate about dreaming, and this walk, this road, this accumulation of everything that goes into it is just the accomplishment of all of my dreams combined into one, and it's a funnel of all the things that I've ever wanted to do with my life into one extraordinary adventure. So,
I think dreams
dream.
and adventures cross all ideological lines.
Oh
This
yeah.
might probably be accused of being pretty woke, Travis, but that's the beauty of this is that we dreams, adventures, good conversations, those cross all lines.
Oh
And
yeah. It's all connected.
I'm thrilled for you. And I think that just taking this adventure and you are going to inspire others too. And I love that you answered dream. I think that's beautiful. And I am going to follow your dream and watch it develop. And I can't wait to see you on the other side too. I know that's a long way off, but
Time is relative,
the
and it has
instinct
a
in me
funny
is
way of
kicking in a
creeping up on
little.
us.
I'm sorry.
Time is relative, and it has a funny way of creeping up on us. So,
It does. It does have, especially when you have children, you find there's a common mother meme phrase, which is long days, short years, and it's very true because in the midst of it, you're exhausted and you feel like you're never going to get everything you need to get done, and you're failing all the time, and it's you're never going to get to the next step, and then you wake up and they're 18 and you're like, wait, where'd my baby go? And so time is very much of that. And I'm sure you're going to have similar experiences. There are going to be nights that are probably going to seem very, very long, and you're going to go, why did I think I
oh
wanted
yeah,
to do this? But you are going to do it. And
oh yeah.
it's going
It's
to
a lot more mental than it is physical because the physical part you can't really train for. You just got to keep going, and the
be,
keep going is all that mental aspect.
yeah. Well,
Everything else.
I do appreciate you, Travis. I appreciate you sharing your story and your time with the Pebble viewers, because I think that this does represent the Pebble. You are taking steps, literally, one foot in front of the other, and you are doing it to make yourself better, to fulfill your purpose and your dreams, but you're also doing it in a way that you're going to be helping others along the way, which is like I said, what inspired me instantly to reach out to you and wanted to share your story. And I do hope we get to hear from you along the way. So thank you.
Absolutely. And thank you so much. I really appreciate being invited on the show on the Pebble. It's an honor and a privilege, and I'm really excited for all these things to come for sure.
I wish you a safe and happy journey.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.